What up? I don't know which camera to look at. This is going to be the intro for a video that's probably going to take at least a month to make, from what I've seen and from my personal experiences with these things. And pandemic probably makes it even worse. To start, this is a curiosity that I've had for probably far too long. That being said, what we're going to be doing today is we're going to take a look at Wish, and we're going to maybe go through a few of the, what would you call them, wholesale Chinese sites. I'm thinking AliExpress, Alibaba, places like that. And we're going to check out what they've got in terms of film. I've seen people go through and check what they have for digital cameras, and we're not touching those. And we're probably not going to buy any film cameras if we see any. But I haven't seen anyone check out film, and that's probably for a very good reason. There's a lot of reasons why you shouldn't do this, and hopefully through my financial loss, you can find some entertainment in these really strange times, and hopefully you can avoid doing stupid things by vicariously living through me doing stupid things for you and for myself. Again, just a really weird curiosity I've had for a while. That's really all there is to it. We're gonna see what we get, see what we can find, and we're gonna shoot it and see what it's all about, and if it's any good. It's a simple video, but it's going to take forever to do it. I mean, my mom ordered a pair of shoes from Wish one time, and it took like 2-3 months. So I'm not anticipating that this video will be done anytime soon. This is something I've wanted to do for a while, and I'm finally getting around to it. So, our budget is going to be, including shipping, I don't want to spend any more than $20, $30, to be honest. Let's hop on Wish, and let's get this search started. Let's hope we don't see any weird stuff. Here we go. So, we're here on the Mac, and let's just dive into it. We don't want our videos to all be 50 minutes long now. So let's just see. I guess the first search will be 35mm film. $33. That's a no from me. We're gonna avoid stuff like Color Plus. I can buy this from B&H. I forgot to mention this when we were on the big camera, but I like to buy a majority of my film from places like B&H, and occasionally Adorama, if B&H doesn't have what I'm looking for. But I also like supporting small businesses. I'm talking like Photodome and places like that, even places locally here where I'm at in Milwaukee or Madison when I'm there. I try my best to support small businesses, local businesses, black-owned businesses, and if anybody knows any Asian-owned camera stores, let me know. But with that out of the way, I don't recommend you do this. Again, you're just going to be wasting money, one, and two, there are much better places to spend your money, especially when it comes to camera gear and film. They'll get your orders to you quickly. It'll probably be cheaper, and you won't have to worry so much about, your film being exposed to the elements as much. The way that a lot of things that I've seen come from Wish, it's not going to be packaged in any way that's, careful. So enough of me talking. Let's see. This is interesting. I've never seen this. $13 a roll though. See, Wish does this thing sometimes. It's a sales tactic where they try to make you think that you're getting some like really good deal. $48. Hell no. 18 exposures, $48. I don't even think Pro 400H goes for $48 a roll. In fact, I know it doesn't because I bought some, and that's a story for another time. I also don't know how Sandals falls into 35mm film, but okay. That's a Kevin Durant card. Oh my god, is this Lomo going for $76? Now I know Lomo, especially Lomo 800, is hard to come by, but I would never pay that much for Lomo. Instax Squares, actually they do seem to have decent deals on Instax, and that might be something that I look into. I do have an Instax. I don't really use it, but this does seem to be kind of cheap. All right, we're not seeing anything. Let's just move on. We got other sites to get to anyway. Okay, what the hell is this now? We've got these projector screens. Now this is interesting. This is definitely just repackaged something. This isn't going to be some new film stock. We're definitely not paying $13 for it, especially when shipping is $7. I don't know what the hell Barbie Flower Fairy Sister is, but that might be the holy grail of cameras. So if you know where I can buy one of those, let me know. Vintage camera with such lovely photo paper. How can not meet your girly heart? After using, still can regard as beautiful collectibles to be put in receiving a box. Let's maybe hope we can find this on a different site like AliExpress or Alibaba. Again, we're doing something stupid, but we're trying to be as smart as we can about being stupid, if that makes any sense. All right, we're on Alibaba now. Again, we're just going to be going with 2 basic search terms, 35mm film and then just 120 film. I'm not really feeling it. Let's hit the 120 film. It's just a lot of plastic. Just a lot of wrapping and stuff, a lot of like shrink wrap. That's the only 120 related thing is this Holga. Is that like a knockoff Pringles seal? Alright, here we are. This is the last stop. I'm getting tired of looking at this stuff. We're just gonna check AliExpress and be done. There's a lot of overlap between these companies and, you know, these websites in terms of what they're selling, and so this looks exactly like what we were looking at on Wish and what is it, Alibaba. And this is something that I was interested in, so I'm gonna check that out. People hate when I like open a bunch of tabs. I can't tell you how many times like during class this semester when we had to share our screens and I would just open up my browser and there'd be like 20,000 tabs and everybody was just like, they were just coming at me, and I was like, you know what? This is who I am. You gotta love me for who I am, alright? I'm a kind of guy who has like 30 tabs open at a time. That's what I need, okay? Be supportive of me or we can't be together. You know what I'm saying? We can't be friends if you cannot accept that I need a tab for everything. Every assignment, every interest, every news story, you know what I'm saying? Emails, you know what I'm saying? You gotta have the multiple tabs. You gotta kill your computer's processor. Alright, I like that. $2? Oh, this one got hearts on it, alright. Okay, they got some sort of developing tank for $30. I'm pretty sure you can just buy a Patterson tank for that. Alright, you know what? I'm gonna look through all these, and if there's anything interesting, I'll keep talking. Otherwise, we're gonna just make this quick and I'll show you what's in my cart. Alright, so we're back. I closed out all my tabs, organized things a little bit, added a few things to the shopping cart, and we managed to squeeze it just under the budget of $30. I'm not even sure. Maybe they might add tax and it might take it just a little bit over $30. But here's what we got. This $8 roll of this heart canister film thing. This $3 roll of film. It's the same one that we saw on Wish that was going for like $13, and the one that we saw on Alibaba that had a minimum order of like 100. So we got that for $2. It has the shipping of $3.39, which is what brings it up to like $6-ish. Very expensive, actually, considering that that's only 8 exposures. But I mean, there's free shipping on this roll of film, and I also, for the hell of it, threw in this 20 sheets of Instax mini film. I just really want to see what shape it comes in and if it's any good. Once this stuff comes in and we see what it's like, maybe my opinion will change. I highly doubt it. I'm going to put this order in, and I guess I'll see you in a month. This is the funny thing about YouTube, right? For me, it'll be a month, but for you, it'll be less than a few seconds. I'll see you then. Kind of excited to shoot this. So this just came in today. Here's the last part of the order from AliExpress, I think. It came in 2 packages, but I think when it reached Illinois, they just put it in 1 package. Let's peep. So, got 2 little packages here. So let's see what we got. Good lord. Jeez. I mean, it shipped from China. I don't really know what I expected. It's very crushed. And it shipped in these bags. So did the Instax. Actually, let me grab that. It came in this little black bag. Feels almost like a doggy bag. And it came like this. I'm pretty scared for this film, at least, because it's been hot as hell in Milwaukee for these past couple of days. We're talking like upwards of 90 degrees. What the hell? Oh, you're shitting me. So, does anybody see the problem here? I'm going to sneak in a picture of what I think I bought. When I was ordering it, I thought these would be two different things just based on the photos that were provided. On the listings, the canisters look different. One of them has hearts on it. So I was expecting one of these. I wasn't expecting two of these. I think I accidentally just bought the exact same thing because I'm an idiot. But that's fine. But if you look closer, they're technically not the same thing. So this one right here is ISO 200, and it's only 8 exposures, which is kind of weird. I don't think I've ever seen an 8 exposure roll. But this one right here in the crushed box, 400 ISO, 18 exposures. So let's actually look at what these look like. Okay. This one has hearts on it. I was expecting that. Alright, and just to see, maybe the canisters look different. Maybe I wasn't bamboozled. I do think the hearts are pretty cute. No, it's exactly the same thing. I won't bother. Something interesting about these canisters is that I'm pretty sure that these are the reusable type. I don't exactly know how much reusable canisters like these cost. This one feels really cheap, but then again, I've never really loaded one, right? I've never really played around with one, so I wouldn't know what the quality is like. But you are getting a reloadable canister, if that's worth anything. Alright, so I guess the only thing that's really left to do is go out and shoot this film. We can end the video out, just kind of see what this film is like. I'm guessing that this is either some repackaged Kodak Gold, or what is that one that Fujifilm sells that's in pretty much every grocery store. We're not going to cover this in this video. I think I might make it a separate video, or maybe even just save it for Wheel of Photography, which if you haven't seen, there are 2 episodes now as of the time that I'm filming this. So we're going to load this up into a camera one of these days. We're going to shoot both of these rolls, develop them at the same time, and see what we get. I'll check y'all later.
You see here, kid, you gotta just go for it. Don't think about what comes after or what came before. About what comes after or what came before. You just gotta bend your knees, take a deep breath, and jump.
Hey there. Unfortunately, this video has been riddled with many a roadblock. As I sit here editing this, I realize that for the sake of time, I need to cut over 30 minutes of footage, though I might make a separate video out of that. Long story short, when I loaded this film for the first time, my SP500's film advance started acting up, and when I tried to swing the lever, it would lock up. At first I thought I was bamboozled by the film, because on both rolls, my camera would lock up at around 4 or 5 exposures. Turns out that this was only partially the case, as you'll see here shortly. The real issue lies with my SP500, and I'm going to need to get it cleaned and fixed soon, so if you know anybody that still services film cameras, let me know in the comments. Anyway, I had to dig out the film from the heart canisters using the old wet film leader trick, and what you're going to see next is me reloading the film into a different camera that I know is fully functioning and shooting blanks into a sweater. The purpose of this is to see how many frames are actually on the rolls without double exposing what I already shot. Spoiler alert, it's not what's advertised on the boxes, though I'm not sure if any of us are surprised by that. If you've made it this far, I appreciate you, and subscribe for more videos like this. Now let's get back to the interesting stuff. Welcome to the overhead camera. Hopefully that wasn't too loud. Oh! Got it! I messed up the roll of film, but I managed to get the leader out. Hey, you know, you win some, you lose some. Wow, I didn't actually think that was gonna work, but okay. I was never good at this stuff. Aha! We got it. All right. So, let's see. Let me go grab a camera that I know works and works well, and we're gonna try these out. And I'm also gonna this poor roll of Fuji color. Let's put this back. Alright, so here I've got my lovely Minolta X-700. I know for a fact that this works as it should. I'm going to put this sweater down, and I'm going to make sure that the lens is covered. I'm trying to do this in more subdued light so I don't lose any of the photos that I shot, and I also don't want to mess up the rest of the roll, assuming there is anything past what I shot. Because again, we're cheap, and if we can salvage this roll, we can salvage this video. Okay, it caught. That's all I need. All right, let's close it. This is the... Okay, so this one is the 18 exposure. This one's the 8 exposure. Let's count. I think I advanced it just enough so that it caught. Whatever the counter tells us here is whatever's on the roll. Just make sure. According to the X700, we are officially at 1 frame. This is 2. 5. 6. Whew. Okay. So there's definitely not 8 in here. We have proven that there is not 8 in here. You can see this. My lever is stuck. So that means that there is no more film to be advanced, or at least not any more full frames, right? This is supposedly 18. 1, 2, 14, 15. It caught. It caught at 15. Jesus. It caught on my SP500 at around 4 or 5 frames. This is telling me that there's at least 15. So, okay. My SP500 needs some work. Good. Good that I found out using these rolls, at least, right? These are rolls I don't care about at the end of the day. But let's wind this up, and we'll talk about it in a minute. Actually, supposedly it caught it at 16. Okay, I guess that's a little better than 15. I'll give it that. Still 2 frames off. So what did we learn? We learned that they did bamboozle us. There are not as many frames as are advertised on either of these. You could argue that that's not much, but when you pay for something, you should expect to get exactly what they tell you you're getting. So it's a bit deceiving when you shoot a roll of Portra 400, 36 frames, you're getting 36. And that's exactly what you should get, because that's what you're paying for. That said, I'm still curious as to what these are. I'm really curious about what this film is now, because it doesn't match Fujifilm, and it doesn't match Kodak, the Gold or the Portra or anything else. So this is kind of a mystery film to me. So the general plan from now is, I vaguely remember that my SP500 caught, I think on this one, it caught on the 4th or 5th frame. So I'm going to load this, advance until I'm on the 5th frame, then I'm going to shoot from there. If I get a double exposure, who cares? But that way we can salvage what's left of this roll. Same thing with this. Here we got the 2 hipster cameras, and that's what we're going to be using. We're going to shoot the 8 exposure. I mean, there's only like 4 exposures left, but we're going to shoot that in here, and we're going to shoot the 18 in here. No point in me showing you load those up. So for now, just know that that's the plan moving forward, and at some point you will see me shooting that. Let's salvage this, and let's move forward. I finished both of the rolls. It's now 8 something. The sun has effectively gone down, and I started a roll of Portra 400. I think we call it a day. I'll see you back. I don't know, what are we gonna call it today? See you back in the lab, even though it's just a basement. Hey, nice to see you again. We're back, and we are going to develop these 2 rolls of film. The walk was nice. It was a nice change of pace. I haven't shot much nature lately. It's mostly been a lot of city stuff or just residential areas or small towns. So it was nice being in a forest, although I kept looking over my shoulder because I thought I was going to get murdered by the hash-slinging slasher. Anyway, let's develop this. See you on the other side. Alright. This is quite literally the moment of truth. I've never been so nervous, other than like maybe the first few times I started developing film. Alright. Gotta get it over with at some point. I'll be damned. We have photos. I can tell you that much. Oh, what the hell? I don't like that. For some reason, there is this black substance on the side here. You can kind of see it on my fingers, but just take a look at that. You see it all over here. This doesn't happen when I develop film. Like, my reels are clean. And it's all over it, too. So it's coming from this film. Here, let me just run my thumb around it. You can see. Oh, what the hell? I'm pretty sure that this is a cinema stock. And that means that this shit is remjet. Let me explain my sour mood for a second. I don't know where I heard this, but I was working under the false understanding that remjet would destroy my chemicals, and understandably, I was upset, but pleasantly surprised that these rolls were, if you didn't already figure it out, Kodak Vision 3, which is a pretty cool motion picture film that I've always wanted to shoot. After some research, I learned that remjet at most will probably make my chemicals a little dirty, so no harm, no foul there. The film photography project has a great explainer video on shooting and processing Kodak Vision 3, and I'll leave a link to it in the description. Turns out I removed the remjet as they recommended, with water and my fingers. Now, the astute members of the audience might have already figured out long ago that this was indeed Vision 3. Unfortunately, I've never shot this film, and I'm not too well versed with many film stocks. But in retrospect, there were 3 big clues. 1. Black film leader. I kept wondering why the film leader was so dark compared to all of my other film. I now realize that that's just the remjet. 2. Logic. This might not be so obvious, and it wasn't to me at first, but if you logic your way through it, it can't be Kodak Gold or Fujicolor C200, as I initially guessed, because you're looking for a commercially available film stock that comes in a big reel that you can bulk load to turn a profit. The only color film that fits the bill, to my knowledge, is Kodak Vision 3. 3. ECN2. Finally, I don't know how I missed this, but it says right on the film canisters that this film can be developed in either C41 or ECN2. Only motion picture film would recommend ECN2. On that note, if you think about who the target market is for this film, it's definitely not me or you. This is aimed at people who like the film aesthetic, or are just trying to have some fun with some film. And if you consider that, the listing for these rolls of film needs to be more upfront. I just checked both listings, and I now notice that there is a warning that reads, "Please allow 1 to 3 centimeters error due to manual measurement. Please make sure you do not mind before you bid." My bad for not reading that, but still. Don't advertise a film as 8 or 16 exposures when they aren't. Also, I checked on Kodak's official website, and based on the information from the film borders, the advertised ISO isn't even right. The supposed 18 exposure 400 ISO roll is actually Kodak Vision 3 200T. The 8 exposure 200 ISO roll is Kodak Vision 3 250D. Now, the exposure latitude is good enough that it didn't impact my photos too much, as you can see here with this moon photo that I somehow exposed at 200 ISO thinking it was 400 ISO. The problem is, outside of a few select labs in the US, you cannot get this processed in most commercial labs. Best case scenario, a lab will see the ECN2 on the canister and turn you away, and you'll have to develop it yourself, or the roll will collect dust in a drawer until you can send it away to a lab that does develop it. Worst case scenario, the lab thinks that this is just your average C41 deal, which the advertising for both listings would lead you to believe, as neither mentions anything about ECN2, and they run it through their machines, and bang. According to FPP, the remjet messes everything up. This probably wouldn't happen to an experienced photographer who knows what they have, but for the target market who probably knows nothing about film, I can't help but wonder if this has happened yet. It's not smart to hide the fact that this is motion picture film. But that said, I am pleasantly surprised by this. It's not at all what I was expecting. Sure, it's overpriced as hell, but who would have thought that random rolls of film from AliExpress branded with hearts would turn out to be Kodak Vision 3? If you want to shoot this, I would head over to the Film Photography Project, where they sell hand-rolled 24 exposure Vision 3 for only $9.99 a roll. Keep in mind that I spent $7 on a 7 exposure roll from AliExpress, if you for some reason thought you might replicate my stupidity. I'm curious if this is the same film that I saw on Wish and other Chinese wholesale sites, because in one of the listings it states that the rolls are, and I quote, sent randomly. Function is consistent, only the factory batch is different. And it's kind of funny. Someone left a review with a photo showing a canister of Kodak Gold with their heart sticker very badly placed over the logo. So if, even after watching this lengthy video, you think you might want to place an order, I think they've plainly admitted that you're just getting a random roll of film. So perhaps I just got really lucky, and my 2 rolls from separate listings on AliExpress ended up being Vision 3, as overpriced as it was. This ended up being quite the journey. Thank you for watching, and to see more photo adventures, consider subscribing. I'll see you next time.